Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to the Lennie Robbins YouTube show, Know Your Politics. I'm just trying to create a better understanding on the basis, on the foundation of watching what they do. You know, I wanted to make this video because it has come to my attention, and I'm sure I'm not the only one thinking like this, but our politics has degenerated itself to the gutter. We just look at what has been happening in our parliament for the past year. Politicians have no respect for themselves, they have no respect for each other, on either side of the fence, that is. And by so doing, they have no respect for us, the voters. Now, I look at Mark Meadows over in St. Anne's, the one who talks about being a chopper. And that they have been chopping us a long time, so we can chop them now. His party leader tried to remove him. He said he's not going anywhere because the people love him, and he's there to serve the people. Am I to understand that the people is in agreement with his chopping argument? Well, if so, that's the people's choice. He is still in his position. Warmington made it clear. I'm not paying a license for my mouth. I say what I want to say, whenever I want to say, wherever I want to say, and for why I want to say whatever I want to say. And no PMP shall ever spend my money. There's a back and forth argument between him resigning and Mr. firing him and all sort of stuff. He's still in Parliament. But worst of all, that man was a member of the Integrity Committee. I'm just saying all these things to show you how our politics is degenerating. It's going to the gutter. Bunting was in Parliament responding to some heckling or questions from, or some suggestion by other member of the party. He was trying to finish Mark Golding's speech. Mark Golding's response to the budget. And he's telling the man on the other side, I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to shut up my mouth. If you don't want me to talk, come and take me out. Why are we reducing ourselves to that? The Prime Minister, Mark Golding, was making a speech about I think it was about the Speaker of the House. I know it was wrong for him to have his wife as the Speaker of the House. It may be wrong, yes, but if she can perform the job, if there's a law that says it can't happen, if there's a law that says it can't happen, then let us put the law forward. But Mr. Prime Minister, when you get up and lead your cabinet members in a walkout, that is also very disrespectful. Not just to you or to PMP or to Mark Golding's speech, but to the people who voted for you to get you there, to Jamaica. That's very, very wrong. You understand? But like I said, you guys can do it because you know without people in Jamaica, most of all, we don't watch what you guys do. We just listen to what you say. Because a lot of us as JLP supporters and PMP supporters just listen to what you say, and as long as we can get a feel-good story out to you, we are great about that. We are happy to have a feel-good story from you guys. And I'm asking you guys as PMP and JLP people, leaders and parliamentarians, conduct a survey of your party, you survey your supporters, and ask them. Because with all the promises PMP have been making and JLP has been making, what they're going to do for the country and how you're going to make the country a better place, just ask the supporters if they really have hope. Are they looking forward to you making the country a better place? No. Even though they're following you in your campaign and they're jumping up, oh yeah, my party is in power. They're not expecting any great things from the party. Neither from the PMP nor the JLP. This is a blind support thing. And that nothing has to do with the people being idiot or stupid. It is evident that the people don't believe that politics or politicians is going to make the country a better place. People just want to know that their party is in power. That's all it is to them. The PMP is in power, people is still going to do it. Make our spend there, go get something there, take a thing off a man around us, take a thing off, get a little job, get a little road work. Same thing with the JLP. So don't think these people are expecting very much from you. Now I want to show this out there to all Jamaicans because this is of great concern to me. Great concern to me. Now the JLP is telling you and promising us all they're going to do for education, transportation, housing, health, and security and crime. The PNP is telling us what they're going to do for all these 5 things. How they're going to make the nation a better place and a safer place and a healthier place and all of these things. And job is going to flow and all of these things, improve the quality of life for its citizens. Now, these 2 parties can promise us improvement in these 5 years. Just these 5 years I'm talking about. Let us ask ourselves the question, why can't they find a common ground on which to work for even one of these 5 listed items? Why can't they find a common ground to work on one of these listed areas of our lives? Why can't they find a common ground to work on making or creating a better health service and an affordable health service for people of Jamaica? Why? This is not rocket science work. This is not nuclear energy we're creating. This is something we all can create. They have the ability, they have the knowledge, they have the wherewithal, they can come together and do this. Now, why can't they? They can't do it because for them it's about the party. It's about PNP, it's about JLP. And it's about them in isolation, it's about PNP in isolation and JLP in isolation. It's about glorification for the JLP, it's about glorification for the PNP. It's about the PNP separating itself to say they are the better party. It's about the JLP separating itself to say they are the ideal party for us. You understand? It's a benefit for the PNP, it's a benefit for the JLP. So they'll never come together. But let me ask a question. Failing to come together to work on even one issue for the common good of this nation, who suffers? JLP suffer or PNP suffer? It's we the people. We the people who suffer. Because listen, these JLP and PNP leaders, they know for sure that our memory politically is as long as 9 days. In 9 days we forget what they say. And because we forgot what they say, we don't know what they're doing. We have no idea what they're doing or what they're not doing. Most of all, what affects us is what they don't do. But for us to have our finger on the pulse of what they're not doing, we now have to start watch what they're doing and make note of that. And this is why I emphasize this so much on my platform. Watch what they do. It is our lives at stake, not their lives. Our lives at stake. You tell me, a lady, an old lady, 75 years, 72 years of age, is sick. Even young people, it doesn't matter the age. You are sick. You live somewhere in St. Elizabeth, anywhere, even in Kingston. You go to your doctor, at the clinic or wherever. You have to wait 2 hours just to see the doctor. You go to the hospital, you sit there 4 hours to see someone. When they do see you, let us say you are to be admitted. You are now advised that you can't be admitted because there is no bed. You have to go home and come back. Now you're sick. You waited 4 or 5 hours to see someone. You're recommended for admittance. But then you're told you can't be admitted. You sit there for another hour. You're told you can't be admitted. You have to go home and come back another day. Sometimes they tell you which day to come back. Sometimes they don't tell you because they themselves can tell you exactly when to come back because they don't know when a bed is going to be available. Ladies and gentlemen, the time has come for us to realize that evidently the JLP and the PNP, they're not going to do it for us. If they had the intention to make it better for us and give us a better quality of life, or an opportunity at a better quality of life, at least they would find a common ground on which to work, and even one thing we ask them to find a common ground on. One thing. Find a way to make the economy grow. Job creation. How can we come together to make this a reality for the people of Jamaica? The people who voted for me and for you. How can we come together and make this a reality? They're not going to do it. And now that we know they won't do it, it is even more important for us to really take it to them. When I say take it to them, for us to really let them know. Attend all the monthly meetings and in our community and local community meetings, parish council meetings and all these things. And let us know. Let them know that, listen, over the years we have been voting, we have been running from a cycle to cycle election and from a cycle to cycle party governance and all of these things. Nothing changes. When JLP is in power, PNP say you're the most corrupt. When PNP is in power, JLP say they're the most corrupt. So nothing changes. All the big fancy speeches, nothing changes. So here's what. We now need to be at the table. We need a seat at the table. For us, we are now aware that we have to forge this difference. We have to create a difference. We have to be the difference maker in what is happening. We have to make sure that we forge bipartisan relationship on a few things in this country, because if not, nothing is going to get done for us. We will always be struggling. We will always be suffering. We will always be the burden bearer. We'll always be the one who suffer. And we are the ones who are suffering. And it is time. It is time for the government. If you guys can come together to work on even one or two things for the betterment of us, then why are we even acknowledging you? Why are we even acknowledging you as a party? It is important, ladies and gentlemen, that we do what we have to do to make sure that the politicians, they do what they have to do to make our lives better. Look at it. Crime has been running rampant throughout the nation for years. For years. Now you're Damon Crawford in Parliament chastising the ruling government about crime and state of emergency and all of this crap. Lambert Brown did the same thing too. And this is why I say it's all about parties, not about Jamaicans. It's not about us. They can make all the feel-good talk they want. It's not about us. It's just feel-good story for them to make their party look good. And they're raising this thing about the government and the government this, and security and crime and all of these things, and state of emergency legislation and all of these crap. But while they're in Parliament, discombobulating their own minds over these things, we the people on the street are suffering and hurting. We are suffering. We are hurting. Because guess what? They seem to forget it was their own Minister Bunting, I should say, sorry Mr. Golden, Bunting, who threw his hand up in the air and said only a divine intervention can help solve Jamaica crime problem. And even that other gentleman from the JMP, I don't remember his name right now, who alluded to the fact that only Hobby are going to help us. Maybe we have to go turn to Hobby to help us solve our crime problem in Jamaica. So ladies and gentlemen, we got to understand that these people are just talking. That's all they do, talk. They talk far more than what they do. And we can always jump on board and say, oh yeah, they're making sense. Yeah, it makes sense. But does what they do make sense in the long run? Highly likely, buddy. Highly likely. I just want to close this by saying that if politicians were really serious about helping Jamaica, Jamaica would be a far better place than what it is right now. Our Prime Minister is projecting some development for the country that's going to bring us to the brink of first world status. But I'd like the Prime Minister to understand that for us to be at first world status, you understand, we have to be competitive. We can look like a first world country, have the best roads, the greatest infrastructure development and all of these things. But what do we have to offer the world to be recognized as a first world country, or as near to a first world country, or as a fully developed country in this world? We're no way competitive. Globalization has nothing to do with us, brother. We are no part of globalization. We have nothing to absolutely trade. I can't blame you, Mr. Prime Minister, or the PMP, Mr. Golden, if you should take over. I won't blame either you guys for that. This goes all the way back to P.J. Patterson. P.J. Patterson was the one who caused us not to be a part of that package. We could be. Because back then we were an industrialized nation. We were more industrialized than now. Because we had more production. We were running on what is called a production economy. He changed that shit to what is called a service type economy. And what kind of service do we have to offer the world? Nothing. 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 Hospitality is the only service we can offer. And we are still struggling with our hospitality service. We are not yet at at the level it should be, because we're still struggling to get it there. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to take this time out again to welcome you to the Lennie Robbins YouTube channel. Know Your Politics. Let's try to create a better understanding for us all by watching what they do. Again, we must watch what they do. It is important that as citizens, as voters, as concerned people who want a better quality of life in Jamaica for ourselves and our children, we must watch what they do. Listen, take this, think about it. Think about this and ask yourself the question, why can't both parties form a bipartisan, make a bipartisan effort to create a bipartisan or a coalition effort to work on just one thing, whether it's health, education, job creation, transportation, or crime. One thing for the betterment of this nation. Why can't they coalesce their effort and make an effort on just one area of our life for us to improve in Jamaica, one at a time? If you have 5 years to work with, then you can work together on one issue each year. In 5 years, we would have created 5 things. The next government comes into power, we work on another 5 things. In 10 years, we would have 10 things running for the nation, improving our life. Why can't they do that? Ask yourself the question. It is not about you, it's not about you, it's not about you, it's not about you. It's about them. PMP is about PMP, JLP is about JLP. I've alluded to an earlier posting. In election time, they come and make all these fancy talk to us. It's all about promises, what they're going to do, what they won't do, what they're going to do, and all of these things, what they're going to make better, what they need time to do, what they need time to make better and get done, and all of these things. But when they get into that house, elect them when they get there, everything become party focused. JLP focus, PNP focus. Nothing is people focus. Nothing. Ladies and gentlemen, think about that. Welcome once again to the Lennie Robbins Show. And I say, blessings to all Jamaicans and home and abroad. Have a great rest of the week. See you soon.